So you're thinking about working with aircraft in the Marines, but not necessarily turning wrenches or flying jets? There's a whole world of aviation specialist roles that are just as mission critical, and your Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB scores, play a huge part in landing one. If you're aiming for aviation, but want to stay grounded in logistics, support, or operations, you're in the right place. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Dr. Steele. I'm a U.S. Army veteran and an ASVAB test prep expert. In today's video, I'm going to cover everything you need to know about understanding your scores on the ASVAB if you're looking to enlist in the United States Marine Corps. And I'll break down what kind of ASVAB scores you'll need for aviation specialist roles and how those scores are actually built. Let's get into it. The ASVAB has 9 or 10 subtests, depending on if you're taking the paper or computerized version. These subtests check out your knowledge in different areas like general science, arithmetic reasoning, word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and mathematics knowledge. The other areas are electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. You'll get a standard score for each of the subtests. So what's a standard score? It's basically how you stack up against other people your age, specifically 18 to 23-year-olds in the U.S. The average score is 50, and the scoring system is built around that. 50 is your baseline, and a 10-point difference shows how far above or below average you are. So a 60, above average. A 40, below average. It's that simple. Higher scores show off your strengths in certain areas, which can be a game changer for landing specific military jobs. You'll also get a percentile rank. This shows how your performance compares to others. For instance, a percentile rank of 75 means you scored better than 75% of standard test takers. Here's where it gets a bit more customized. Once you're eligible to enlist, the Marines will use your ASVAB scores to determine what kind of job you're best suited for within the service. These jobs are determined using composite scores, also called line scores. These are created by combining your standard scores from various subtests that are relevant to specific military jobs. Each military occupational specialty, or MOS, has a minimum composite score requirement in one or more areas. For example, a technical job will look at your math and science scores, while a mechanical role will care more about your understanding of mechanics and tools. Your composite scores really dictate what jobs you qualify for, so they're worth paying attention to. Let's start with one of the most high-tech jobs in marine aviation, the 6694 Aviation Logistics Information Management and Support Specialist, or ALIMS for short. This job is all about managing aviation data systems, and for that, you'll need a GT score of 110 and an EL score of 115. The GT, or General Technical Score, comes from combining your word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and arithmetic reasoning. It shows your ability to understand information and solve problems. EL stands for electronics, and it's built from subtests in arithmetic reasoning, mathematics knowledge, general science, and electronics information. That score tells the Corps you've got the smarts for working with tech systems. If you're more into the coordination side of aviation, check out the 7041 Aviation Operations Specialist. This is where you'd be working with flight plans, airfield operations, and aviation communication. You'll need a CL score of 100. That's the clerical score, made up of word knowledge, paragraph comprehension, arithmetic reasoning, and mathematics knowledge. It's all about how quickly and accurately you can process written and numerical data. If supply chain and logistics is more your thing, the 6672 Aviation Supply Specialist might be a perfect fit. It also requires a CL score of 100. Again, that's all about your ability to organize, interpret, and manage data, especially when it comes to keeping aircraft supplied with everything they need. And finally, there's the 7051 Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting Specialist. This job is intense. You're basically a first responder on the airfield, and you'll need a mechanical maintenance MM score of 9.5. That score is pulled from auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, electronics information, and mathematics knowledge. It shows that you've got the hands-on technical skills and mechanical awareness to handle emergencies fast. Your Armed Forces Qualifying Test, or AFQT score, might be the most important score. It decides whether you can enlist at all. Each branch sets its own minimum score, so you have to clear that bar before you move forward. The AFQT comes from a combination of your scores on 4 key subtests. These subtests are 1. Arithmetic reasoning, which has basic math word problems. 2. Mathematics knowledge, which includes a variety of math concepts. 3. Word knowledge, which tests vocabulary and word meanings. And finally, paragraph comprehension, which measures how well you can understand written materials. Your AFQT score is a percentile ranking, meaning if you score a 60, you did better than 60% of standard test takers. Each military branch has its own standards. Let's talk numbers and take a closer look at the minimum AFQT score you need to enlist in each branch of the military. You'll need a high school diploma or GED to qualify for any branch of the military. The required scores vary, though, based on which ones you have. If you've got a GED, you'll need a score of at least 50 for all branches. With a high school diploma, you'll need a minimum score of 31 for the Air Force, Marines, Navy, and Army. The Coast Guard requires a minimum score of 32. If your AFQT score is higher than the minimum, that's great. This opens up additional options, potentially more career growth, and maybe even some bonuses. Whether you've already taken the ASVAB and your scores aren't where they need to be yet, or you're still prepping, I'm here to give you some steps you can take to improve your scores and better position yourself for the military jobs you want. First, pinpoint both your strong and weak areas. If you haven't yet taken the ASVAB, taking a practice test can zero in on what you know and what you don't. Look at which subtests brought your score down and which ones you excelled in. While it's important to address the weaker areas to meet minimum requirements, excelling in your strong areas can offset a lower score in other sections. This balance can improve your overall test outcome, especially for composite scores or percentile rankings. Next, study smarter. Spend more time on the sections you struggled with. Using good study resources can make a big difference. Study.com's ASVAB test prep resources can help with personalized plans and practice tests to get you on track. In fact, 92% of users pass the ASVAB after prepping with Study.com. If you feel like you know a topic well, do practice problems and quiz yourself. If you're still missing a lot, go back and review the lesson until you're confident you know the material. A solid prep plan can boost your score. You can retake the ASVAB if you need to. You'll need to wait 30 days before your first 2 retakes. After that, it's a 6-month wait if you want to try again. So use the time you have to your advantage. Also, keep in mind that you can use your ASVAB scores for up to 2 years to enlist, so plan accordingly. If you do need to retake the ASVAB, consider using Study.com's ASVAB study guide and test prep resources and zero in on what you need to study. And remember, even if you don't get the score you need for the role you want, there might be other military jobs that would be a good fit for you. The goal is to maximize your strengths. So whether you're looking to manage aviation data, coordinate flight ops, handle supply chains, or be the one charging towards danger as a rescue firefighter, there's a Marine Aircraft Specialist role that matches your skills. These jobs are vital to the mission and come with a lot of responsibility and opportunity. If your ASVAB scores line up, you're one step closer to a career that keeps marine aviation running strong. And if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment with any questions or topics you want us to cover. And don't forget to subscribe for more U.S. military test prep content. I'll see you in the next video. You've got this.